Hey guys, Big Dan here. As you can see, a small ice storm last night. Not as bad as what they said it was going to be, but not quite good flying conditions. So since my last video, I had an overwhelming bunch of people ask me, what do you actually see on the screen when you're flying your drone?
You sit on a throne of lies.
So I thought I'd do a short tutorial of everything I see and maybe explain some things to you guys. Let's first start off with my drone. This is Raven 1. Raven 1 is a Specta mini 4K drone. It's a sub 250 gram drone, so it doesn't need registered the FAA. It shoots with a 4K 30 frame rate. Very good picture quality, as you can tell from my videos. So, now let's talk a little bit about me.
2 very boring minutes later.
Okay, with all that said, let's get into the tutorial.
Oh, come on!
Okay, so here we are on my display screen. And let me go around and show you what everything means. Now, if you look up here in the corner, it says C mode. That means cinematic mode. Now in cinematic mode, that's the slowest mode on the drone. The drone has 3 modes: cinematic mode, normal mode, and sport mode. Sport mode being fast, blah, blah, blah. But in cinematic mode, it slows everything down. Even you're controlling your stick so you get smoother movement. Now let's go up here. It says you're in flight. I mean, you should know if you're in flight, but no, it actually tells you other things. It tells you when it's safe to fly, when you can take off, different things like that. Up here, you see your battery life indicator. It starts off green, then it goes down to yellow, and then eventually go down to red. Beside that, you'll see how much time you have left to fly on that battery. And if you look up here, you'll see the strength, the signal between your drone and your controller. It's just like your phone. It has bars. The lower the bars, the worse. It also will go to yellow and then to red. Once it goes to red, you've lost signal, and I'll address that here in a couple minutes. Right next to that, you'll see a satellite. It tells you how many satellites you're hooked up to. This is a GPS drone, so it always knows your location and your home points by satellite. Okay, down on the side over here, the little film strip, that switches your camera from video to photo. The red button, you obviously know what that means, start and stop your video. The little arrow, that is for looking for your files on your drone's SD card, like your videos and your pictures. And then the 1X here, that's your zoom limit. It's either 1X, 2X, or 4X. Now let's move down here. This is all the stuff about your camera. As you can see, mine's set to auto because I'm really not a photographer. But if you do know how to change things to make your pictures better, you put it in pro mode and you can change all of that. Now let's go over here. You can see my height and the distance that I am away from the drone. And you also see above that the speed in which you're going. So if I'm going up, you can see I'm going up 2, 3, 4 mile an hour. Or if I'm going away from myself, you can see if I'm going 10, 15, 20 mile an hour. And in the far corner, that's a little map to show you where your drone is, like on Google Maps. If you notice at some point, you will see a red line.
Return to home.
That is the direction you need to turn and fly to head home. And now, probably one of the most important buttons is right over here, is the return to home function. Now this works in 3 different ways. The first way is, if you're doing your flight and you're done, and you don't feel like flying the drone home, you just press this button. It'll automatically come back to you and land where you took off. The second way it works is if you lose contact with the drone. it'll automatically return to home. It will not fly away. That's a very important one. And the third one is if your battery gets too low, and it gives you a couple warnings like, hey, you should return to home, but if you keep ignoring them, when it gets to the point where the drone knows how much battery it needs to get home, it'll override everything and automatically come home. That pretty much explains the screen. I hope you learned something, and I hope you've really seen how easy it is these things are to fly. Until next time.